Hey guys, what's going on? Yeah, so I'm still working on the studio PC here. Basically, there was a couple of different strategies that I was trying to use just to get it going. I've got two operating systems on two separate hard drives that I can use in a commercial environment. The one is Windows 10 Professional, which is what I started with, and then the other one is kind of one that I was kind of using as a kind of a backup, but I wanted to kind of venture into the Linux area and a little bit just because of the free open source community and how a lot of stuff is available. Plus, they're in general they're a little bit they're lighter on resources and computers than Windows. Windows seems to have a lot of stuff running in the background that doesn't necessarily it's not clocked in on the task manager. So with that, there's you can kind of get a little bit more horsepower from less resources. So I ventured a little bit there. I was using Ubuntu Studio for a little while, and that's what I was trying to load up yesterday. But the problem is, with Ubuntu and Linux, there doesn't seem to be the same level of support. It's very community driven, so it doesn't have the same setups as Windows does. Because basically, I was having a lot of problems, and then I figured out just through some research, I found out that there because this is a very new this is a much newer motherboard that I'm using. It's actually a military grade motherboard. It uses aerospace grade cooling. If you see the fins here, what happens is the air gets drawn into the CPU and then it comes out this way and then this way, and it's really well done. It's a really well done motherboard, but the problem is that it has a UEFI BIOS as opposed to legacy, which just basically means that how the software talks to the hardware, so how the non-physical stuff talks to the physical stuff in the computer is very different from the traditional methods, older systems, and with that, the both operating systems that I have installed are based on the older versions. There's some serious compatibility issues. Now with Ubuntu Studio, I wasn't actually even able to get into the operating system. With Windows 10, it seems to have a little bit more support. I am able to, but there's still some problems. But with Windows 10, there's also the ability to you can change you can almost change the operating system without having to lose a lot of your data. It can actually change so that it communicates based off of the UEFI as opposed to the legacy. But I'm still researching it because I may not be able to switch back once I do make the switch. I may not be able to switch back to legacy, which means that I won't be able to use my main system that I've been building up. I won't be able to use it on any of my other computers. I won't be able to use it on anything but this one here. So it does present some limitations. This one has a lot more power, so I should be working on it anyways. But just letting you into my thought process because I'm trying to consider, okay, well, what if I have to do some extensive work on this thing, and I'm migrating from a system that I have been using for a while. I do have a hard drive on the way, a brand new hard drive, and I was going to do a fresh install on that. So right now I'm trying to figure out basically what the best course of action is, whether I should switch over my main system to be compatible with this system and then just strictly use that, and then kind of work with Ubuntu Studio on the older systems and do a little bit of back and forth between data between the two. Or so anyway, just a quick update on kind of how things are going. It's it's a very interesting process. I'm learning a whole lot on the whole thing, and yeah, more to come. Okay, take care, guys.